video. My name is Wood. I'm just jumping in really quickly. I'm watching a lot of TV right now, and it's extremely challenging to do some episode recaps for all of the different shows that I'm watching. Yellowstone, Succession just ended. Um, Even Chicago PD had a very interesting maybe three episodes that were connected together that were extremely well done. Um, Bull is another show that I watch. One of the FBI. There's a lot of stuff that I'm watching, so it's impossible to get to all of it. But Swagger on Apple TV Plus, uh, or is it Apple Plus TV? Whatever it is, Swagger. Hey, we can we can attack Kevin Durant for his sensitivity and some of his behavior, or his defense of himself and his status in the NBA on Twitter and so on and so forth. But uh, this is a real example of his leadership. What I was talking about with Kevin Hart's true story situation. About getting putting your money into the projects that you want to see out there and the types of projects that you want to see, especially with black actors and black storytelling. Go out here and get involved and make it happen. And so I'm very proud of Kevin Durant. I don't know how I can't say how much of the creative direction of the show, probably very little of it, he has to do with it. But shout out to him and his business team, Rich Kleiman, for selecting the right project to get behind. And I think Reggie Rock Bythewood, the creator and director, probably has written some of these episodes. We're just seeing a guy who is an absolute veteran of of storytelling, and I really respect how they rolled this out. I feel like the strength of the show is that they've allowed black people to be real. Some of these programs out here, I think it's over sensationalized, maybe even caricaturized. And right here, I think they're just doing some great storytelling with some of the day to day that various people in the community go through. And Reggie Bythewood's strength is that he's allowed it to be. He's done it in a way that's compelling, intriguing, and it's very warm. It's very down to earth. I don't see many agendas, behind it. Not pushing any real messaging or anything. I'm I love the show, to be honest. I didn't even think they could. I didn't think they could make 14-year-old AAU playing teenagers. I didn't even really think they could keep my interest the way that they have. But as the story has moved away from the basketball court at times, um, I've just really appreciated a couple of things that and they touched on what's going on in the world. These last couple of episodes dealt with the arrival of the pandemic and COVID-19 and the different social distancing, and the different protocols and how it's affected the life of the kids that were going to school, how it affected high school athletics and everything. And I thought, and it wasn't over the top. They're not on here preaching about go get vaccinated and none of that stuff. They haven't really touched on that. They just showed you how this affected the lives of these players. They also dealt with what's up, Corey Evans? Good morning, man. They also showed with some of the BLM stuff that's been going on the last couple years. Um, some of the stuff that was put in motion by the Colin Kaepernick protests and all of that type of stuff. They showed it was an episode 2 or 3 minutes, episode 7 or something, where they knelt during the playing of the national anthem, there was a situation where they had a run-in with law enforcement and were treated unfairly. That was a little that was a little over the top, but I did see how they tried to say that the kids were on the way to the team was on the way to a game, and they went to a more of a suburb area, and because you got these 15 you know black kids, and then the coaches and whatnot, somebody called the cops thinking that these guys, and they getting off a bus, somebody called the cops and thought that they were part of the some protesters and whatnot. So the police came in and interrupted them having lunch, pulled their guns on them in this restaurant. That, if you didn't like that, you didn't like that. Okay, I get it. But from that, they went to the game, and these 15 young men, after having guns drawn on them by these officers and being treated unfairly when they clearly weren't, posing a threat to anybody or disturbing anybody or disrupting the peace or anything. It affected them during the game. They also showed how the parents in that audience, or the crowd that was there, how they reacted to these young men kneeling during the national anthem. And that's another thing. Like, the star of the show, Jace Carson, and the leader of the basketball team, he was so pissed off about the police encounter that, in the spur of the moment, he felt like kneeling during the national anthem. Also, on the way into the gym, he walked past some statue that kind of represented the Confederacy or something. And then in the gym that they were playing in, there was a United States flag hanging up in the corner and a Confederate flag. And this young man, who seems to be doing pretty well in school, he's sitting here confused about the messaging of, what is this? What am I honoring and what am I standing for based on what that flag represented? This is a very simple question that gets overlooked while we're talking through some of this. So and then it was also, how did the team respond to one of them? Hey, what's up, Janine? How did the team respond to one of them kneeling? And then the coaching staff is sitting here. How do we deal with? Do we show solidarity and kneel with the team, even though we may not want to do that? I just like how they showed it. I didn't really feel like they went out of their way to tell you what you should do or what you should think, as much as they showed each of these characters dealing with that moment. And then after the game, uh, they come back, and then I enjoy the show too. Exactly. And I mean, I don't really have a whole lot more to talk about on the show itself. We're getting ready. We're now set up for the finale, the season 1 finale, and Jace has this knee injury, and he's been given a 6 week timeline that would cause him to miss the what he's been working for. Is they want to go play in nationals, and to go play in that's going to take him down to Florida, where he's learned, his sister has learned their father lives. And Jace wants to go down there and show his father how tall he is one thing that he said, but he also wants to show him what kind of a player he is and what he is as a young man and what his father walked away from. So that's one reason why Jace has been trying so hard to make sure that the team made it to that. At the same time, Jace has had to learn how to be more of a leader. They lost their point guard. I don't know why this character, Musa, I don't know why they've taken him. I don't know if this was something related to COVID and they had to do this for whatever reason or whatever. I know they wrote it into the story a certain way, but the point guard on the team went to go live in California, and has been gone for several episodes now. So that caused Jace to have to play point guard more. And then they have Nick Mendez, the Puerto Rican kid that's one of the best players in the area. This has made him and Jace, play off of one another a lot better to make the team better and to give them the best chance to win. So, but now this doctor has told Jace after this knee injury that he sustained in the championship game, it's 3 weeks from now in the episode, and the doctor told me that he can't do anything until 6 weeks. So that's kind of the cliffhanger going into the season finale. So again, I think all of these situations, they even took some time to spend. They took a moment to spend some time on Meg's character with her fractured relationship with her father. I think that was well done. I thought it was a beautiful scene. Actually, after the championship game, when she left to go be with her father in ICU, uh, the team came and met her at the hospital. They had some flowers for her, and it just really reinforced, that they've grown into a family. I thought that was a well done. Maybe it's over the top. Some of you hard rocks out there, you don't want to see stuff like that, but I thought it was very well done. Um, the other thing, Janine just said that it deserves more eyes. That's the thing with this being on Apple TV Plus. That's another subscription for people to pay. Um, I don't know what that subscription is right now because I'm on a 1 year free uh, subscription or whatever because I bought an iPhone. That's one way to get in on it. But it just had me thinking and looking at stars. Like right now, I get emails from stars every day where you can get stars for $20. You can get 6 months, and I'm just like, that's how inexpensive they've made stars to help more eyes get on the Power universe and the Power spinoff stuff that I've talked about before. And all my conspiracy brothers out there, uh, I think that's nobody's saying anything about that. Like, how the hell can you just charge somebody $3 a month, less than $3 a month, for 6 months to watch your trash, and nobody complains about how people try to take advantage of the black market or the black audience. Also, only $5.99. Okay, well that's cool. I was getting ready to say because most of your streaming services right now, I thought were at least at like $9.99 to up to 14 or $15.99 for HBO Max or something. But to see stars at less than $3 a month, to make sure that it's affordable, or appealing to everybody out there, seems a little sus to me. But anyway, again, like I said, man, I think Kevin Durant deserves a major salute for getting involved with this program and helping it, come to fruition. Shout out to Steph Curry, who has a production company as well. I think some of his stuff, some of the projects that he's overseeing or that his company is overseeing, I believe they're ready to be rolled out, but they're still a little farther behind, Kevin Durant and his outfit. Then you also have obviously LeBron James has been doing his thing with his company headed up by Maverick Carter. They've had a couple of projects out there already. And I thought Russell Westbrook has had a producer credit on one show. I can't remember which one that was, but it's just great to see these individuals who are bringing in. If you plan on, if you have a contract and you're getting $45 million a season, it's great to see that money trickle back down into the economy. I mean, not to the economy, but to go into projects out here. Like you don't have to sit here and go through trying to raise capital and go get these different studios who don't see what your vision is. They don't hear what your message is. They don't believe in this story. It's different when you can just go to the people who have the money, who can pay to get this stuff done, and you can get your projects out there. And then shout out to Netflix. I know some people have had differing opinions on Netflix, but white critics aren't watching this. Exactly. Exactly. That's why I'm up before I start work talking about it. I think people need to watch it. But yeah, it's different when you can go to a couple of key individuals who have the means, who have the resources to get this stuff done, and then you have platforms like Amazon and Netflix where a lot of these projects are going to, and we can watch them and support them. And that's why I'm on here talking about. I think it's a phenomenal job by Reggie Rock Bythewood, the director, creator, probably writer, etc., etc. Um, And then I think O'Shea Jackson has done an excellent job as coach Isaac or Icon. Uh, the storyline with him and his wife taking in the kid that plays center on the team who's in a bad situation at home. I think that's a very heartfelt detail of the show that they've handled pretty well. Uh, Jace's mom and then Jace's sister Jackie. When you have a kid in the family who's getting all the attention and the mother is directing all this energy in getting her son together and helping him pursue his dreams, and then she's over here, also doing her thing, but kind of getting slighted in terms of attention and genuine interest in what she has going on. I think they've handled that well. Um, And then it's kind of, and then my one of my favorite characters on the show who's emerged as one of my favorite characters is the assistant coach. I can't even think of his name off the top of my head, but he's been very interesting, just in little small bits and pieces. But I like what he's doing, and like I said, man, I think the show is dope. I agree with Janine. It needs to be more eyes on it. Again, I do not hate all of the hustling shows, the dope selling shows, the gangster shows. I'm not above watching that type of content. The same thing that I look for in my expectation with my music. I just want some programming that balances out what we see. That's all I'm asking for. I know some people are near and dear to the Black Mafia families and the Canaan, raising Canaan or whatever, and Power Book 2 and what all that. That's cool. Snowfall, that's great. That's not the only thing that I want to watch. Those aren't the only types of stories that I want to see. Um, I don't know how some people don't have PTSD watching black people get killed and be down bad as they are in some of those shows. I don't know how you sit there and are oblivious to this, but that's neither here nor there. Um, there was one other thing I wanted to touch on very quickly before I got off here, and I cannot think of what that last note was. Anyway, the season finale will be next week. I think the name of the episode is called Florida. So I'm very anxious to know. That was a hell of a cliffhanger, to get a boy six weeks to heal up. The doctor actually said that he couldn't even put pressure on his leg for 6 weeks. Like he couldn't even be just doing like shooting drills or light running or something. She said 6 weeks you can't even put any weight on it, was what the doctor said. So with the championship being 3 weeks away, we need balance. Can't just be hustling in comedies. Exactly. I don't think I had somebody on here make a comment, yesterday, and I get called all kind of names. And I'm not even saying the most defiant. I'm not being disrespectful. I'm not preaching and getting up on some soapbox. I don't think it's the end of the world to ask for balance. But just like I said, you can say something about a type of show that somebody is an avid fan of, and now I'm hating. No, I'm not hating. I just have a different set of expectations. Oh, what I was gonna say was, I'm trying to get his show Harlem on Amazon with Megan Good. I'm trying. It's not really my cup of tea. It's not. But I'm trying to put aside some of my personal differences with some of the stuff that's going on, and I'm on episode 4 or 5. That's one of those shows where you can clearly see what the messaging is. You can clearly see what the agenda is. You can look at the men on the show, and you know that men don't act like that. You know that the majority of men do not move and act like that. But they got brothers on there acting real weird, and I can't say anything about the brothers that run out here on YouTube and speak on some obvious stuff like that. But probably on this week's pod, I think I'm gonna try to get a podcast out there, an audio podcast on Spotify. It's always personal, and I did want to talk about the barbershop scene that they showed on there. I mentioned there was an article out there on ESPN, the Undefeated. Dennis Jr. was the name of the last name of the writer, but I did want to talk about, we got to be honest with ourselves. And I think even the dude on ESPN, the Undefeated, the writer, I think he wasn't accurate on what he was talking about either, because a lot of bullshit goes down in barbershops nowadays, because a lot of barbershops are not operated and owned by mature individuals or responsible individuals. Anybody can open a barbershop. And the dude on ESPN on the Undefeated, his article said that the situation that they showed on Harlem would not happen because barbershops are very lucrative and nobody wants to lose money. You might have that in a major city. Like if you had a barbershop that had, you got barbershops with like some of them have like tailors in there or high-end services and whatnot. You might have some professional athletes that are part of the clientele in a barbershop. You might have something where it's everything across the board is truly professional. You might have that in your bigger cities. But I can go in 10 barbershops in my area, and it's profanity, it's R-rated and above television shows playing. It's vulgar music blasting. It's ridiculous. And so to sit here and say that Harlem completely portrayed this barbershop scene in a inaccurate way, that's not the truth. We that's not the truth. Episode 3, Harlem, it's all right, black sex. Yeah, that's the obvious comparison, but I'll go into it more on. I already spoke too long and got off topic and whatnot, but yeah, that's the obvious comparison, but still, I will say is the acting and the presentation is a little better than Insecure. I don't know what the hell happened to Insecure this year, this season. I'm gonna talk about that too. I know it's a lot of diehard fans for Insecure, and I know to say anything, bad about Insecure is instantly you're hating. The show ain't for you anyway, and yada yada yada. But I don't care if a show is for me or not. Quality writing and cohesive episodes and storytelling that flows is the same. I don't care if it's a song, if it's a show about the Confederate South. I don't care if it's a show about swords and dragons. There's certain things there that's not happening on Insecure. That in my opinion is they just mailed it in this season. They did. But the diehard fans, of course, they love everything that's given to them. So anyway, check out Swagger. I think they've done an excellent job. It does deserve more eyes on it. It does deserve more more people talking about it and discussing it. And yeah, it's ridiculous. This last episode, um, really quick. What time is it? Oh, this last episode, to go 5 seasons, to be in the fifth season, and to get like to the third to the last episode, and to have these flashbacks where she goes off. It's this transition to like her in the future. And I know that she was always doing the thing with Issa in the mirror, the rap stuff with herself. I know that was some Hollywood stuff, and okay, I get that. But you get to one of the very last episodes, and we have these daydreaming scenes of her, and they're pretty lengthy, some of them. That show, we've never seen that in the show before, and it threw me off because I'm like, are they really jumping ahead like this because they know we running out of episodes, or what's going? I mean, that's how long the daydream was, and then the way that it happened, it just kind of threw me off. But it was such a different style to what the storytelling has been to this point, and I just thought that was a little. I didn't think that was a plus. I really didn't. But I looked at the writer and the director team for who wrote that episode, who directed that episode, and I just think for to go with a director who comes in and completely plays with the feel of the show. I didn't think it was a great move for the show itself. That's just my opinion. Some people probably didn't give a damn, but it just really, and I know they did it not last season, but the season before. They did the same thing with Snowfall, and they went with like that alternate world or alternate ending in the season finale, I believe, and they showed what would have happened if Franklin would have gone on and went to college instead of gotten into drug dealing. And they spent like 20 minutes on that, and I'm like, what? What am I sitting here watching? Like, what is this? This doesn't even fit in with the rest of the shows. That's just how I watch stuff, though. That's just me. Let me get on out of here. Have a phenomenal day. Again, I just wanted to come on and talk about. Nah, it wasn't Jay Ellis. Jay Ellis did maybe like 2 episodes ago. I can't remember. You know what? You might even be right. To be honest, you might even be right, Janine. That was not Jay Ellis. Was not the guy that was in the thumbnail or in the picture that was on Instagram. It was a guy who wrote the. It was some guy that was the writer, and then the director. I did not remember it being Jay Ellis, but you could be right. You could be right. Anyway, let me get on off here. Enjoy your day. Let me get on with these people. Pay me no mind sports entertainment. You don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great. Peace.